an hour to prep for your speech using a note card, and then you give that speech, which is 5 to 7 minutes with a 30-second grace period.
Let's see. The parts of that is we basically have to form an analogy, somehow to tie, like just something that the audience and the judges would understand into the question. Say the questions, come up with 3 points and our answer as to why we support that answer. And yeah, just 5-7 minutes. Go ahead and present that. Well, that's basically it. We have some questions that we're going to hand out to the audience. We're going to have you read some of these questions. And we can't use ourselves.
Yes.
All right. So.
Is Poland's Holocaust legislation unwise?
Okay, so brief answer, I would say that it is unwise due to the fact that it penalizes the basic right of free speech. And I would support that by using 3 points, looking at the history of why free speech is a good thing, then why it's important and why it matters. I would say that penalizing people for things like that is just bad for politics in general, and I obviously had more things to back that up. And then what will happen next, I would say that they will probably pass it because it's very important to their country, but that is an unwise decision for the reasons listed. So.
Oh yes. What role can indigenous communities play in the Latin American war on drugs?
That is a question we would not draw.
You're welcome. I'm needing an answer.
Yes. Next question.
Will New California become the 51st state?
Yeah, so actually I would say no, but the reason for that again is look at the history of California's had a lot of history with wanting to break up, or some parts of it have. Then you look at that, possibly as the first point, then as a second point. The reason for that, but the third point, looking at the opposition to New California, and it has a lot of hurdles to jump through, and that's why it probably wouldn't become the 51st state. Little brief answer, obviously longer than that, plus the analogy, and then at the end you would tie it in to the analogy at the beginning, at the end.
Should John Cena's political Does Mueller have the constitutional authority to indict Trump?
I would say yes.
I said Johnny talk no.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Well, I would say that not Mueller per se, but the Congress does, and if you can convince the Congress, then the Congress does, but Mueller in and of himself does not.
Look at that.
I'd like to say before this is, we will get a lot of these like political questions, and oftentimes we really can't like say yes or no sometimes, but for the questions that we can in politics, it really just depends. Yeah. It really just depends on how we see things politically. Like we have to choose a side. We have to choose right wing or left wing. Sometimes the judges aren't agreeing with us, like with what we choose. And so Extemp can really be kind of, it's more of a, if you get lucky with the right judge who isn't going to say, oh yes, I don't like that answer, I'm just going to give you 5th place anyway.
Yeah, and a lot of times it's not necessarily your personal view that you're making the switch on. It's just adapting.
I'd say it's probably one of the best events. You know, you have to work to be unbiased and still stand up for your own views, and these kids kill it every week.
You'd have to do. I'd have to do a little bit of research on that. Sometimes you just fly by the seat of your pants in Extemp if you get 3 really confusing questions. But probably just based on the current political situation. Not exactly informed on British politics. You probably have to read a little BBC.
Okay, first one. Should vaping be banned in public spaces?
Oh, yes it should. Yeah, so honestly, it's just a lot of these questions, like, they can be like whatever the abomination Chase read was to should vaping be banned. And it's just cut and dry sometimes, but other times, like, I always reference this one topic that I drew freshman year. How does the Indianapolis 500 have to affect Venezuelan politics? You get some of the weirdest questions out there, but in the end, you just try and work with what you get. It can be difficult, but that's why we try and practice every single week. And it really makes it a lot more difficult because you can't really practice for any extemp draw because you don't know the questions you're going to get asked. Out of the millions of political things that are going on right now, you have to find the ones that you might be asked. And so it just gives us a little bit more, well, let's say difficulty to prep for every single weekend.
And you can't use the internet while you're prepping. That's an important thing.
We use Extemp Genie, which we can, it's kind of like a way of getting around having to look through every single internet source like CNN, BBC, everything really. So it just files some of our articles for us. We search it up in the search bar for something related to the question, and we basically just go from there and try and use whatever articles and sources we can, and get 5-7 minutes.
And it downloads hundreds of thousands of articles. I think I have about 300,000 articles on my computer, and they come from things like right-wing publications like Fox News, left-wing like Vox, and think tanks, and there's a lot of different sources, so that can be very useful.
All right. Well, it looks like we are above 7 minutes, so we hit the grace period. Darn it.